night skies, both hypnotized. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord. In a heartbeat, you were gone. Like ships in the night, love at first sight, holding you tight. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, so unfair, you left me there. Choose the 9:35 from Paris, left with just her aroma from my standstill adventure. Now I'm stuck in a world of regret. And it's 9:35. I'm not happy, but I feel alive. So much I wanted to say, but now it's too late. Find a way, find a way. Spend the night with you in Paris, Lord. So unfair, you left me there. Took the 9:35 from Paris, Lord.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. And as always, getting everything set up has been a little bit of a nightmare because for some reason it was really hot in this room, even though it's not hot outside. So I thought, well, I'll set up the air conditioning unit. And unfortunately, my Apollo 13 contraption that I designed on the front of it had some leakage issues. So I had to get out the trusty duct tape. I'm just thinking about the discussion we had about that on the last live stream. But anyway, I got out the duct tape and duct with a T, by the way, not ducks swimming around. I tried to plug any of the gaps, as much as possible, and it is kind of working at the moment, which is good. I'm just expecting it to totally cut out, but while doing that, I then realised that, I had a couple of pictures that I still had to upload, and then I think my camera might have been on earlier than it should have been. So if you saw me before starting the live stream, then that's just the way it goes. But maybe I got away with it. I do not know. I just would have been here clicking on different things, trying to set up everything as I normally do. But anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room. And yes, Karen says duct tape or gaffer tape. So yeah, gaffer tape, what we call it here, duct tape, tape, and it's my English accent as to why that sounds like a duck and doesn't sound like a duct, because having a C and a T next to each other, duct, it doesn't really work. But anyway, Getting back to you guys in the live chat room, hello to you. And we have Annika in there, Charlie, Tammy, Barbara, Bev, Ro, Andre, Terry, Deborah, Julesy, Mary, Debbie, Tammy, Bonnie, Paul, Laurie, WNP67 was that? Hello everybody. I don't know if I was just saying the same names over and over and over again, but I can see Mimi in there as well, Desert Deluge, Corey, Maria, Mark. Yes, thank you for joining me on tonight's live stream. So as for the other thing that's going on, as you can see, my hair is a bit long at the moment, so I'm having to constantly brush it out of my eyes, and this is after trying to straighten my hair so that it doesn't go in my eyes, but it's still curling into my eyes. So there's nothing I can do a lot about, unfortunately, when it comes to my hair. And you can see on this other side, or is it that side? On this side, my fringe is now curling out into the distance. It's like pointing out that way. So no idea what it's doing, but this is just the thing with my hair at the moment. I need a haircut, so I'm just having to deal with the fringe and whatever it wants to do getting in my eyes. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. And as for the camera, I tried to get it to be light and then it goes dark, and then tried to get it to go light again, then it went dark. So I've just dealt with the fact it's going to be a little bit more high contrast, so the black shirt isn't really that black. But as for my hair, my hair definitely isn't jet black, but it's gonna look like that for the live stream. We can't do much about it, but as long as the feed is working, it's fine. So let's get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. A massive shout out to the lovely people that go across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams. You know who you are. And these are the people that requested Paris Nord to start the live stream for tonight, and that's my song on my album called Persistence. And you can head over to wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go straight to the music page, because that's where you can get my album, all my songs, all that cool stuff over there. While I remember the merchandise as well, I usually wait a little bit into the live stream before mentioning it, but sometimes I forget. So here we go. Here's a plug of the mug, early doors. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, then there's a tray underneath this video. But if there isn't a tray underneath this video, there's a link in the description below for the spring.com store. You can click on that and that'll take you through to the t-shirts and the hoodies, the tumblers, all that cool stuff, the caps as well. So you guys can check that out. Right. I can see Karen says, I should know who I am. Laugh out loud. So don't know what that's referring to, but thank you. Everybody. Bella saying, Phil, your hair is getting super long in length. It's getting Crystal Gale long. Yeah, not quite that long, but then when you said it's getting quite long in length, I'm not sure that there's any other way of measuring how long something is other than length. But anyway, I suppose it could be quite long in width, so I've just contradicted what I was just saying there. Yeah. I'm due, hopefully, to get my hair cut next week. It's all booked in, so just a few more days to go to survive. It's really a luck of the draw. As you can see with the length of it, if it decides to all flop forward, then I can't see anything. So luckily got away with it, and got away with it for the interview with Taj that we had on Thursday night, and that was very late here. It's probably actually a little bit later than it is now. It's 13 minutes past 11 here in the UK, but for Taj it meant that he had to get up early. His dad had to wake him up early, so he made that sacrifice to talk to me and of course share his thoughts about his new single, Crossroads. So it's great to talk to him, and we were talking for almost 2.5 hours, which actually meant that I did charge up my lights with the batteries, and I spent a whole battery life just talking to Taj. So there you go. And so you can imagine how much editing it took to get it down to 18 or 20 minutes. But I literally started editing as soon as we said goodbye. I then jumped into it and was editing until I think maybe 4:30 or 5 in the morning, and then got some sleep, woke up, got straight back into it, and we did get the video out, because I did say that I was going to do everything I could to get the video out for last night, and we did it. So that is great. If you haven't checked out that video yet, make sure that you do, and check out Taj's new single. But yeah, great to catch up with him and Brandon as well, Taj's dad, because yeah, we haven't spoke, you know, we've spoken on the internet, but actually speaking in real terms, having a conversation, yeah, we haven't had a chance to do that for a while. So it's great to catch up with Taj, and he's just about to move over to the USA as well, so they've got a big move coming up and going through the whole, you know, visa thing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, great that, yeah, Taj is going to be over in the USA and touring in September, early September. That's when he starts, if my memory serves me correctly. But you guys, well, long time viewers will know that Taj is a friend of the channel and is known to be in that live chat room now and again on the live streams when he's up early enough, because I know he's exactly like me. This is something that we spoke about. He's exactly like me in terms of not being a morning person, and I'm very much somebody that stays up very late, as you guys will already know. If I was editing until 4:30 in the morning, yeah, I stay up very late and then get up a little, maybe technically in the morning, but if I can get up in the afternoon, then that's great, because it means that I've had a little bit more sleep. And this is the thing about getting up in the afternoon, and I think that the generational gap that certainly, yeah, is something that happens all the time, where if a kid gets up at, you know, 12 or maybe 12:30, then the parents say, oh, you know, about time, you know, what time do you call this, getting up at 12 or 12:30? But if you've gone to bed at like 5:30 or 6, then you haven't really slept that much. And that's my excuse, is that, yeah, when I'm getting up, I haven't actually been sleeping for that long. And to everybody else, it's like, oh, you know, I was up at, you know, 6:30. And then I can say, I was still up at 6:30. So you're being lazy going to bed, you know, so early in the evening. Yeah. Anyway, interesting just the way it works, but that's going back to, I think, college days and university, when kids get up at 12, but they have gone to bed at about, you know, 2 or 3, so it means that they have had a lot of sleep. So anyway, yeah, not always the case. Unfortunately, in my situation, I've just got to stay up that late to get everything done before then the next day starting all over again. But yes, a big thank you for Taj for getting up so early to have a chat with me, because he's in Australia at the moment, by the way. He's not in the USA, so that's why the time zones are a lot different, which means 17 minutes past 11, I believe that'll be 17 minutes past 8 where Taj is. So yeah, he was going to get, actually his dad did say, you know, he's taking a little bit longer to wake up than normal, so we did start a little bit late, but that's absolutely fine. Anyway, oh, let me just point everybody in the direction of that thumbs up. I always forget to mention that 17 minutes past 11 here, and I haven't even mentioned about the likes goal, which is 325. That's what we're aiming for tonight. So if everyone can hit that thumbs up, that would be fantastic as you come through the door of the live stream, because if we hit that target of 325, then it means we're going to be having Phil Jam number 27. And just a warning about that, I got a message from Joe earlier about one of the jam tracks being something that was suggested over on Facebook or requested. So he's put it in the list, but then he was saying something about maybe it shouldn't be in the list. Maybe it should be something else. So I don't know whether it's a joke backing track or something. So that's what it's going to be, number 27. But he did say about maybe doing the next one with it, if yeah, the number 27 is whatever it is. So yeah, we will find out a little bit later on if we hit that target of 325. And let me see. I can actually see that the likeometer has moved, which it likes to do throughout the live streams. So let me now centralize it so you guys can see that it is at 220 likes. It just changed, but let me just move it up a little bit so it's not quite as into the likes goal section. So there we go. All the twos, 222. So thank you guys, 224. One more, and it's easy for me to work out that we need 100 more likes. There it is. So we're looking for 100 more people to hit that thumbs up before the end of the live stream. So yeah, if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great. If you're watching in the future on catch up, every single thumbs up really does help. Even though it's after the live stream, it all helps this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole, which it has been growing a lot recently. I think over the last maybe 2 live streams, maybe 3 live streams, we've gone up by 1,000 each time, which is just crazy. I think things are starting to become more sensible now and slowing down a little bit, but I think we might even be close to the next 1,000. I kind of lose track of where we are with the amount of thousands. Was it 308 or 309? Is it 309? Maybe getting close to 310? I can't remember. But every single subscription, every time that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, that always helps as well. So thank you guys for not only tuning in now, watching the videos, but subscribing, those of you who have done that. It is much appreciated. So there have been donations as well. As I always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching the channel is fantastic, and leaving a thumbs up. Maybe introducing yourself as well. That's great, so we can get to know each other in the live streams that we have on a Tuesday and a Saturday, and that's at 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, always the same time. So then we have this regular place where we can hook up with each other and see what's going on, and we can talk about lots of random things and whatever tends to pop up during the hour and 15 minutes. That's generally how long I do a live stream for. At least I attempt to keep it down to an hour and a quarter, because I still have stuff to do after the live stream's finished. But I can see that Laura says 309 up 1,000. So thank you for that, Laura. So yeah, if it was 309,000, that means I think it's getting close to 310. At least it looked like it was earlier. And I can actually look at my own channel, because I've got that ad, literally a live subscriber count of 309,923, which I'm just doing more maths seemingly on tonight's live stream than normal, because that means we're looking for a 77 took me a bit of time, it's a big number, 77 more people to subscribe to get to 310,000. So we almost did another 1,000 in just the matter of a few days. So yeah, great, things are moving along, which is good. And Guy Lane, I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly, said, I subscribe to your channel because you really worth it, Phil, aka Wings of Pegasus. So thank you for that. And Rose says, let's talk pizza. I mean, it's quite a good shout. I haven't had pizza in so long that I can't remember, and that is a rare thing for me. I think it's just what I have been doing recently I have been doing microwave meals. It's because I've worked out that, I mean, some of them you can have in the freezer, and then they take, I think, 8 minutes on particular ones. Like you got lasagna and spaghetti and what the other, what do you call it over in the USA? It's like, yeah, it's pasta but with cheese, like macaroni cheese, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so macaroni cheese, at least that's what it says on the tray that's frozen. So yeah, you take one of those out, put it in the microwave for 8 minutes. It means I can do stuff while my dinner is cooking itself, which is great. And you know, generally you have to wait for an oven to warm up, or if you're having eggs and bacon, you've got to wait for, you know, the pan to warm up and all that stuff, so it's a lot quicker. And if I just have it in the fridge, it means it takes 4.5 minutes to cook whichever dinner it is. I know that's probably not the most healthiest thing, or the most healthy thing to be eating, but it's serving a purpose at the moment, And it just means that I haven't had pizza in ages. So yeah, overdue a pizza. I think I'll be having one of those relatively soon. Probably, most likely now that I'm thinking about it. So thank you for that, Ro. And or just seeing that there have been a couple of donations in the super chat window. So thank you for that, Karen, for $5. And it's just a straight up donation, as well as the following donation from Jay-Z, who has donated $5 as well. So thank you guys for those in that super chat window. And I was mentioning about you don't have to donate, but just in case you do, for the people that can't resist it, I think it's important that everybody knows between 35 and 45% of the donation goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal if you do things through PayPal. And there's a PayPal link in the description below. So Jans has just donated 20 Norwegian kroner. Thank you for that. And the message is, why don't you ask what you call it in Norway? So thank you for that, Jan. And that's purely because I know that there are a lot of people that tune in from the USA on the channel, because during these live streams it's a bit late for people in the UK. So it just seems to be the case that the USA, especially for the live streams, are just a place where it's either in the afternoon or in the evening, maybe early evening. Maybe we can get an idea of some time zones going on. But I know that certainly in Europe it's, for the most part, very late. So people are going to bed around now. And most people who are watching are over in the USA just because of the time zone thing. So that's why I always mention about being over in the USA. And maybe some people can either confirm or deny my theory in the live chat room to see where. I tell you what, in the chat room, type in what time it is where you are and whether you're in the USA or not, because then maybe if we do see lots of people from the USA, then it makes sense. So okay, Irma says 6:25 p.m. here, and I'm not sure where that is, but I'm assuming that's USA. Bonnie says EDT in USA, and Michelle says 3:25 p.m. So if this is all in the USA, 3:25 p.m. So it is afternoon time over in the USA. Alabama is 5 p.m. 6:25. What's that? Eastern Standard Time, maybe EST. So 6:26 USA, 6:26 USA, 6:25, 5:26 p.m. So here we go. I mean, it's good because I've never quite got exactly what the time is from, where most people are watching from. And obviously, if it's in the afternoon or in the evening, and Jan has said it's 27 minutes past midnight in Norway. So that means I think most people have gone to bed. Obviously, Jan is a bit like me, staying up very late to watch the live stream. But we have, lots of times, lots of afternoon times, lots of early evening times. So this is, Joe's coming through with time is relative now in my corner of the universe. So thank you for that, Joe. And I mean, that's just reminded me of a really deep thought that I had the other day. And I suppose this could be maybe a topic for tonight's live stream. A really deep thought I had the other day, and this is something that I tend to do. As you guys know, with music, I analyse things. When people ask me to look at particular videos, if I'm watching any kinds of sports, I analyse the sports, especially football, because that's my main sport that I was into. But I analyse life, and I try and think, what's it all about? So anyway, I was thinking, and I was thinking about consciousness, and the reason why time is like now is the most time there's ever been. But now, it's literally every millisecond, we are at the most time there's ever been. And when I started my sentence that I was just saying, we're not there anymore, we're now here, but now we're here. So I was thinking about time is constantly evolving, and our consciousness moves with that time. So we're only ever present for a millisecond as far as time is going, and we're always at the edge of time. And I mean, there's got to be a movie that I can make about this and try and think of some kind of I don't know, plot that can be doing with this. But anyway, so it means that we're always on the edge of time, and our consciousness is only ever a split second. And then it got me thinking about aging. It means that we never really age because we're always at the end of time. We're never at the previous time that we were at. So that's what made me think that everybody's consciousness is ageless. It's only the bodies that we live in that age. So when you're talking to somebody, you're not talking to their age, you're talking to their consciousness, which is at the same point as your consciousness, and it's always there. So it kind of made me think about aging totally differently, because I was then watching something on TV that I had on the news, and there was a woman who's just been, she just received an award from, or for her service in World War II, and she was, I think 100 years of age, maybe more than that. But anyway, she was telling her stories, and obviously, looking at the pictures of when she was, I think in her teenage years or something like that, she's quite young in the picture, but of course she's not like 100 years old now, or maybe even older than that. And I was thinking that we're listening to her consciousness. So when people see the younger picture, I think if people don't see the younger picture, they obviously just see an old person and can't relate it to that younger person. But when you think that the consciousness you're talking to was in the young person and it's in the older looking person, it's just, it got me thinking about age, consciousness, time, how it works, and how we're only ever conscious for milliseconds at a time, and we're constantly moving forward in the universe. So anyway, Joe said something as well. So we're getting deep tonight on the live stream. Joe said, I'm gonna have to stop this because it's gonna disappear. Let me scroll up. Joe said, as you travel near the speed of light, your personal clock is slower than someone not moving that speed. To avoid aging, go fast. So thank you for that, Joe. But what I'm saying is that we are all moving as fast as each other because we're always conscious. Even if you're moving at the speed of light, you will be conscious moving at the speed of light. So it means that your consciousness is moving faster than anything else in the world, but not time. Time is the thing that we're keeping up with somehow. And these things that I sometimes find very interesting about thinking, about the universe and watching documentaries on the universe. And then that's another thing that I was then trying to figure out, that they say that they've just sent a satellite up into space, or at least a telescope up into space, so that it can see really far. And they say the further we see, the further back in time we're looking at, because we're starting to see when the universe first came to be. But then I was thinking, but that's assuming that we're effectively at the edge of the universe. But that would mean that when the universe was created, the Big Bang happened, everything has to have been instantly here for us to be the furthest part away to then look back at where it started. Because if everything started back then, surely we came from there, and it meant that we've travelled that distance. So why hasn't the light travelled with us if everything travelled at light speed? Or are they saying that everything travelled faster than the speed of light in order to get where it is, and that's why we then have to wait for the light to catch up? And then it would have had to have been so fast that it is literally impossible to comprehend. So this is the other thing. Looking back at time, you think, well, what if we're not on the edge? What if we're looking at something the totally other way? But then are we looking unilaterally into the universe? I don't know. So there we go. I'll leave that with you guys in the live chat room to try and discuss all that. So anyway, we've had another donation that's come in from Richard for $10. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is from the fan of Clapton singing. Have you analysed Nat King Cole's singing and playing yet? Satchmo's Ella's. So thank you for that. And yes, Nat King Cole is here somewhere on the channel. So if you do a quick search for it, you will be able to find that. But thank you for that, Richard. And Guy Lane, maybe Guy, there's chocolates that are called Guylian, but I'm just struggling with the pronunciation. But Guylian, thank you for this $2 donation as well. And this says cool, and the guys kind of are doing the cool hand signal, so thank you for that. And Jan has donated 20 Norwegian kroner. Again, thank you for that. And we know it's late over in Norway, and the message is we come from a big bang. Ask Mum one. So thank you for that, or Mom. So yeah, I've tried to comprehend everything. This is the other thing about the age of the universe and the age of the earth, and draws me back to Jaws, talking about sharks predating dinosaurs, and the fact that dinosaurs were around millions of years ago. Just getting your head around that, because we're in 2023. 2000, and that's nothing compared to millions of years ago. So yeah, just getting your head around the age of the earth and the universe is crazy. Just millions, let alone billions of years old. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Jan. And I am going to jump over to PayPal, because I know that there have been donations over there. So thank you guys for those donations, and I just want to make sure that I don't miss any, because we do have a look at every single donation that comes through. And this one came through on Thursday at 41 minutes past 7, and it's from Tammy, who's donated £8. So thank you for that, Tammy. And the message was, hi Phil, how varied are your musical tastes? So thank you for that. And I'd say, yeah, pretty varied. And I've spoken about lots of different bands and artists from my youth on the live streams before. And yeah, I mean, today I was humming George Michael for some reason. I mean, that's something that tends to happen now and again, but I think my brain would just, and Gary Moore, Run for Cover. Specifically, the album, just tracks from that. I was kind of singing through that, but that is kind of hard rock, so it falls in my preferred style of music for writing and mostly listening to. But I've mentioned about, yeah, lots of other bands and artists that I listen to. It's really varied. I don't tend to go really heavy with, maybe, I don't know, death metal. I kind of don't go as far as that. I tend to just go classic rock, hard rock, and that's really my limit. Maybe metal, 80s metal, Iron Maiden, Metallica, that kind of sound where you still got melodies in the vocals that are being harmonized with. That's something that I like, and something that I like about melodic hard rock. So that's what I tend to lean towards. But yeah, listening to, I'd say pretty much 80s songs that were prevalent in the charts and that come from movies, like Cyndi Lauper, for example, one of those artists who has, I was going to say songs on movie soundtracks, but especially The Goonies. So yeah, that's one of those songs, Good Enough, that I like, because it reminds me of my childhood. So yeah, I listen to loads of different songs, and like to just load up a song now and again. There's another song that I can't remember. There's a couple of bands, and there's one band that did it, and it was called Spaceman, but there was a remix that was released in the UK charts, and that's what I remembered for some reason a few weeks ago, and I just found it on YouTube and then played it back, because it just reminded me of being a kid and getting really specific memories about when it was number one, and watching TV and what was on TV at the time, and that was, I mean, it was always around the time of watching, that is a show that I've mentioned before in the live streams that was, and I remember that the last live stream that I remembered, I can't remember what it is, and right, you guys are going to have to help me out in the live chat room. It's the show that I remembered the name of last time, and it's when he goes back in time and he has the guy that goes do 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 do, and it's like it's just like a coloured bit of plastic that he pretends to kind of go back to a date through, but it wasn't an American show, but we got it here in the UK. And I'm going to look into the live chat room to see if you can remind me what it was called. It is so close to me getting it. But anyway, it's a show where he went back in time, and it was on... no, it wasn't Mr. Spaceman. And Barbara, no, it wasn't Lost in Space. That was on Sunday mornings here in the UK. I remember that. Quantum Leap. Thank you for that, Julesy. Liz as well. Annika. The Quantum Leaps are coming through. So that was the show that I remember being on after Top of the Pops, where this particular remix of Spaceman was number 1. So there you go. All of these memories that you have, a really specific memory from my childhood, and I just, remembered that a couple of weeks ago, so I just loaded it up, had a listen, and you kind of mentally go back to that time, which was great to remember the shows, but also go back to then. But it's interesting because you remember when the shows were on, like with the A-Team, that was on in the afternoons here, Saturday afternoons, and it was after. Sometimes I'd go with my mum and my sister to the market, and my mum would be picking up any deals that she could find. But I think she did bits of shopping there, maybe buying potatoes and fruit and veg and all that kind of stuff. But that was I can't remember what it was called, but it is close. It's more, maybe it wasn't a fair, but it was I keep on wanting to say White Waltham. I'm not sure if that was where it was, or that's where I think I was. I'm trying to get a memory here from when I was really young, but it was a place that we went, and sometimes if I was lucky, I'd buy a little toy. And I remember that I bought a toy that was like a crossbow, but it's like a plastic thing, and you pulled it back, and it had arrows that they stuck. It's like a plunger, so it could stick. And I remember watching the A-Team trying to shoot the baddies on the TV and stick it on the TV to see if I hit them. So anyway, I don't know what age I must have been there, probably really young. But anyway, those are the memories that these sounds produce, which is great. The great thing about music. But anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. I'm really going to have to move on because it's 41 minutes past 11. And by the way, the cover for tonight, the race is between Is This Love and Hotel California. So whichever one of those you want to hear a little bit later on, it's going to be coming up soon, you guys can vote for. And by the way, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, it'd be great if you could do that. We are aiming to get to 325 before the end of the live stream, meaning we are looking for 25 more people. So if you could hit that thumbs up, if you haven't done that yet, that would be great, and we might be able to hit our goal. And I can see that there's been a donation. Actually, a couple of donations. Erin has donated $5, so thank you for that, Erin. And it says the question, or the message is, my 2 favourite subjects, physics and Jaws. So thank you for that, Erin. And this is what I noticed underneath. Jay-Z has donated $20, and it says goal. The guy sliding on his knees. So we have not hit the goal yet, but I think that's just one of those pictures that you can choose. But we are getting close. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. Here we go. We are getting back into the PayPal window because Liz donated £20. Thank you for that, Liz. And the message was, for bringing us the excellent interview with Taj Farrant. Great interview. So thank you for that. Paul donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, please spike those likes, all y'all. Let's have fun tonight. So thank you for that. Great idea to hit that thumbs up. Nicole donated £12 and 25 pence. Thank you for that. And the message is, hello, Phil. I write a text for you. The end is, I have a poetry, a shoulder strap, crosses the Thames. In the end, I'm downing in a cup of tea. Or maybe cup of tea. Happy to join you, Phil. So thank you for that, Nicole. And Nicole's donated again, £8 and 14 pence. So thank you again for that. The message is, hi Phil, I made a mistake by writing my previous message. Phil, I found an album of my father, of Jethro Tull. Stand up, super folk rock, kisses and cheers. So thank you for that. And yes, Jethro Tull, is in my dad's collection, and I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been one of my dad's friends who was in a band with him, who was into Jethro Tull as well. So I think I started listening more to Jethro Tull because of this particular person that mentioned about, checking out his stuff. But what I didn't know, but then I did know, but I didn't know, but now I do know, is that Jethro Tull, a lot of people just think it's the name of like a band, or a person, which obviously, it's a band, it's not just one person, but it was a person. It was Jethro Tull who invented something to do with farming. I think he invented something that means that farming could then be done on a mass scale. It might have been like the combine harvester or something like that, where it meant that it was now a lot easier to make food. And of course it was a huge invention because it meant that you could now plant a lot more potatoes, and a lot of people now didn't have to starve because of this particular invention. So that was Jethro Tull that invented that. So there you go. Now you know that it was a person, and it's not just a band. So thank you for that, Nicole. And going to the next one, Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. The message is, I read Dwayne Allman cited Miles Davis as a major influence on his playing. What can you, as a guitarist, learn from other instrument players like trumpeter Miles Davis? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, everybody can learn lots from lots of different instrumentalists. It doesn't really matter, because it's all about melody and, finding particular melodies. I've listened to saxophone solos before and, figured them out on the guitar because I've liked a particular saxophone solo. So, I like to then kind of find out what they're doing and the notes that they're going to and relating it to guitar. But it's pretty much just the same for every other instrument. That if you're watching a great violinist, for example, a stringed instrument like guitar, you can then translate that to your guitar playing. Obviously you'll have frets, unless you're playing fretless, but you'll have frets on your guitar, so it will be slightly different to playing violin. But melodically, same thing for vocals. It's something that you can start to listen to great singers and just try to get into that melody of the way that a singer sings. Try and do that with your instrument. It doesn't really matter which instrument you play, but try and play melodically, like a singer sings. And then if you can imagine, or if you can sing in your head, then just copy what you're doing in your head till you can, play it through the instrument. But so this is it. It doesn't really matter that you can learn from loads of different instruments, and you can be influenced by different players that do play different instruments. So thank you for that, Steve. I mean, it all counts. It's all music. And Debbie has donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, great job on your interview with Taj. So kind of you to feature young artists on your channel. You are the best. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that, Debbie. And Taj, I've known for quite a while. I don't know when the first video was that I featured Taj in. It's probably, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even more than that, because Taj is now 14, and I think when he first did his videos, it was maybe 9 that he was, and maybe I looked at him when he was 10 or 11. Anyway, around 3 or 4 years probably. The thing about Taj now is that obviously he's growing up, but he's got massive hands already, and this is something that I've mentioned about, sadly. I mean, maybe I didn't start playing guitar early enough. If I'd started maybe when I was 8 or 9 years of age, where my hands were maybe going through a growth spurt, then because I might have been stretching them on the fretboard, maybe they would have become bigger, my hands. But I've got small hands, but Taj has got massive hands already. So it's something that certainly when you are playing runs and throwing together runs when you're ascending up the guitar, is something that allows you to blend your runs even more easily, because your little finger is potentially already where you need to go up to. Like, I would have to slide up in a movement to get there, but Taj could just already just put his finger there. He doesn't have to move. So yeah, he's in that, I would say, in that lucky situation. And I know that he said that he shook hands with Paul Gilbert, and he said that Paul Gilbert's fingers went past his wrist, like halfway up his arm, because I mean, Paul Gilbert's got massive hands as well. They're like alien kind of tentacles. So I know that Taj from a young age wanted to have very, big hands or long fingers, and yeah, he does already. So yeah, great for playing. And he's also got, I mean, if you could have the perfect hands for playing guitar, they would be big, but you'd have long fingers, but you wouldn't have really thick fingers. They would have to be long and thin, and that's exactly what Taj has got. So, and Paul Gilbert, by the way. So certainly genetically, it would be great to have all of that reach and that span in your hand, but it just means that you have to learn to play your own way, which is what I've done, what lots of other guitarists have done who've got small hands. It's still possible to throw runs together, all that kind of stuff, but you might have to start leaning on other techniques in order to achieve that. But yeah, just an interesting thing about Taj's hands. And if you see in the video, I think there's one bit, I mean, Taj doesn't kind of show his hands or his size, but he kind of goes like this to shout. And when he does that, you can see that his fingertips are up here. To give you an idea of the difference in hand size, his hand was going halfway up his forehead, and his palm was midway down his neck. So his fingers would be about that much longer than my hands. So it's almost like another hand on top of your hand that he's got. And yeah, he actually put his hands next to Brandon's hands, his dad's hands, and his dad is 6'3" and has big hands for somebody who is 6'3", and it looked like Taj's hands were maybe a little bit bigger than his dad's already. So yeah, crazy. But anyway, this is it. That's genetics. That's just what can happen. And especially, I think, the fact that Brandon's quite tall and has big hands, it's obviously got handed down through to Taj, which is great. Anyway, yes, but like I said, it's just something that, as Bonnie says, hand envy, question mark. And I think loads of guitarists would love to have big hands, because it just makes things so much easier to do. But like I said, it just means you have to work at it a little bit more if you have got smaller hands, and you just have to work at trying to blend your runs a little bit more seamlessly if you are starting to play faster passages, all that kind of stuff. But it is possible to still play fast and have small hands. There are plenty of very fast players who have small hands. So yeah, there's always a workaround. I think people would, if you spoke to every guitarist, they'd lean on the side of having bigger hands, but big agile hands, rather than having really thick fingers, because then you can start to mute strings that you don't want to mute. But then again, it will just lean towards your own style. That's just the thing you got to do. Just play with what you've got, and you'll inadvertently come up with your own way of playing. So anyway, thank you for that. Debbie and Laura's donated £10 as well, so thank you for that. And the message is, have you used the treadmill yet? And not yet. So it's just getting the time. I had this idea that I just be on the treadmill while I'm watching TV just for 20 or 30 minutes, and then I realised I don't watch TV for 20 or 30 minutes. I'm always doing something. So yeah, it's not as if I can be on my laptop and use the treadmill. So I will do it at some point. I think I'm kind of waiting until my arm is fully recovered, and once it is recovered, I will make time to exercise and get back into my resistance training, all that kind of stuff. All of my exercise at the moment is just rehab, like physio. So, and that's taking about half an hour. So it's still like a workout, but it's literally just all on this arm, doing 4 different directions of movement, and then doing supination and pronation, which is just resistance on the wrist, moving my hand from palm up to palm down and vice versa. So yeah, just all physio at the moment, but fingers crossed, it does feel like it's getting a little bit better. So Karen has donated £3.72. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, from hearing you talk about space and the universe, perhaps in the future you'd like to visit the Hayden Planetarium in New York City. As for your food talk, when was the last time you had Chinese? I'd share my chicken May fun with you if I could. You deserve it and more. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And chow mein, and that's what we call it here, chicken chow mein. And I had that for dinner tonight, and it was one of the microwave ones. So just chicken chow mein in the microwave for 4.5 minutes, and that was me done, which is great. So they technically had Chinese earlier, but I don't really class it as official Chinese, because for that you go to, or at least I consider it, that you go to the official Chinese place and get Chinese takeaway or takeout, as it is called in the USA. We call it takeaway here. But thank you for that, Karen. And Lenky has donated, or Gabriella has donated £3.16. So thank you for that. I think this is where maybe the names get switched round, because it's Lenke Gabriella, and says, for you Phil. So thank you for that. Right, we are just going to call the poll to a close to see which cover video we're going to be taking a look at. And let me see. There have been donations in the super chat window. Thank you guys for these. Karen's donated $5 and says, would you consider a complete Phil Jams live stream once a month? You could play whatever you want. So thank you for that, Karen. And I don't know, it could get quite boring if I do that for like an hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. Anything's possible in the future, I guess. But thank you for that, Karen. Well, that would put a lot more work on Joe to come up with like backing tracks that were going to last an hour and 15 minutes. But thank you, Jan, for 20 Norwegian krona. Again, it says, just listen to Yodi Mayhuin. So thank you for that. And again, another 20 Norwegian krona saying, but not little feet, Lowell, $20. My brain is gone, so I can't train it anymore. So thank you for that, Jan. So yeah, 3 donations in a row there, so thank you for that. And I think we're now up to date in the super chat window, so we are going to be jumping into, I think it was Is This Love? I should have been concentrating. It looked like a really close one, and Hotel California just missed out. So we'll jump into this. Is my version of the White Snake Classic, of course. And I have seen that we have hit the goal for tonight. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. Of course, you can keep on doing that. After this, we'll jump into Picture Corner, then get into the Phil Jam. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! You go alone. It's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days, me sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. I found to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe, my back's against the wall. By my
hold on me.
And there we have it. That's my version of Is This Love? Thank you guys for voting for that one tonight. Oh, and for some reason the camera's gone back to being light. So there we go. I don't know why that has happened, but if it just goes dark again, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Right, we will. Now the thing is, it is what, 1 minute past midnight here in the UK. And as for whether actually with the lighting, you can now see how ridiculous my hair is with that. Look at the curl, it's all going in opposite directions to where it should do. So anyway, we'll get into picture corner. Let me not forget to do that. Let's dive in there immediately. Get some elevator music going in the background, and just a couple of pictures to take a look at tonight, because the first one is, Karen has sent in another picture, so thank you for this. And this is something that was mentioned on the last live stream about maybe doing a wheel about topics to talk about on the live stream. But this is the fill check wheel. Round and round, spinning around it goes. Oh, now everything's getting in the way on the screen. So I can't tell what that says. Let me see if I can get rid of that. What does Phil have in store for us? The check wheel does know. So thank you for sending that one in, Karen. And as you can see, it's got lots of different topics. I think I can make out maths talk, food talk, random chat, hair talk. Of course, it's landed on hair talk, and I was just talking about hair, so that's probably very accurate, that particular wheel. Thank you for that, Karen. And let me get this up on screen, which we mentioned last live stream that it had been Bob's birthday. And by the way, Bob hosts the after party over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group page. So if you are a Facebook user, then you can head over there, join in with that group, get involved, join the conversation between the live streams. And this was Bob's cake, and you can see it's a Wings of Pegasus cake. So thank you for this, and yeah, best cake ever potentially in the world. I'm gonna make a case for that, but it's actually really accurate to the picture and the Wings of Pegasus logo. So yeah, amazing work there. Thank you for sending this one. I hope that it tasted as good as it looks. So those were the two pictures for tonight in Picture Corner. So we'll come back to me, and because we've now got technically two tracks that we're going to be listening to or jamming along to in the live stream, let me have a look actually. Right, the one that says don't shoot the messenger, this genre was a special request. Okay, so that's 2 minutes and 55, and then the next one's 6 minutes and 2 seconds. That's like almost 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Right, so if we get going now, we might be able to fit it in. I do not know. I'm not sure about this. Not sure about this first one. It sounds like it's going to be don't shoot the messenger. That's nothing. Well, that's not something that you want to see on a jam track before you click on it. Right. Let me click on it, and it's probably going to go into an advert. Yes, it did go into an advert, and let me. I mean, these adverts are ridiculous because sometimes they have an advert for like a mobile game, and the thing that you're looking at is nothing to do with the game. It's obviously trying to get you to buy the game, but then you buy the game and realise, well, I don't buy the game, but I'm sure people buy the game and then realise it's nothing like what they've seen. And you see that for computer games all the time, that it is just always at the bottom, not in-game footage. You think, well, why don't you just show me the game? If I want to buy the game, I'm going to judge it on, you know, what the game looks like, rather than watching a movie of the game and then you buy the game and realise it's nothing like it is on TV. Anyway, this is, I'm going to say what this fun polka backing track, and Polka spelling is called Polka Soda, and this is from Elite Backing Tracks, is the YouTube channel. So let's have a go with this and see what happens. Hopefully this is, so hopefully you can hear it. As for the levels, who knows what's going to be happening here, and as for my levels, yeah, I do not know what this is going to be like, but let's play through it, and just a bit of fun, whatever this is. Oh! It looks like it's going to finish. Hey! And there we had it. So, whatever that was, it was. So, thank you for that one. And I mean, it wasn't too bad. At least there were a few chord changes in there to kind of jump around with, but just a bit of it just say a fun polka backing track, so it fits the description right. So let's we might have time for whatever this is. Oh, that's an advert, so let me mute that. Again, as for, I didn't really have time to look at that in terms of the levels, so hopefully you could hear it and that it was okay. We are going to be jumping into another one, and I think this one's going to be 6 minutes. Was it 6 minutes? It's doing an advert at the moment, so I'm just going to wait. Okay, and this is emotional rock backing track in D, and this is Sebastian Zunino. That is the channel, Sebastian, and that's Sebastien, Zunino, Zunino. Emotional rock backing track in D. So let's jump into this and see what happens with this one. As for the levels, let me know what it's like. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I think it's okay. Oh, turn it up please, guitar and backing track. I can't turn both things up. It's just set where it is, unfortunately. But as long as you can hear both, that's alright. we're going to end soon. And it's going to be a fade out. So, yeah, I can't really do much with the fade out, but maybe a little bit better than a sudden ending. So there we had it. That was, yeah, quite a kind of mellowed out, emotional rock backing track in D. So that was the Phil Jam for tonight. And yeah, just a little bit more relaxed rather than kind of going mental. Sometimes we have quite heavy backing tracks. That was a bit of a mellowed out one, and then yeah, the one before that, which I'll just it was what it was, and it is what it is, as they say. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up so that we could have the Phil Jam for tonight. I'm going to be live streaming again on Tuesday night, as always, 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And I'm going to be here with another analysis video tomorrow night, so look out for that. And check out the interview with Taj that I released last night on the channel if you do get a chance, because that's well worth a watch as well. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up, and for the donations, which I can see there's another one that's come in, and this is from Kevin for £1. Thank you for that, Kevin. The message is, Phil, please help me wish Misty a happy birthday. So happy birthday to Misty. And thank you, Kevin, for letting me know. And yeah, hope you have a fantastic day, Misty. And yeah, I think we're now up to date with everything. So yeah, live streaming again on Tuesday night. So if you're free then, same time, same place, then I will be here. And yeah, we'll see what we talk about then. Have a great rest of your weekend, and as I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!